What are you going to talk about today?
Oh, well, hi. Welcome back. Listen, today I had to actually change into my boots to do this show because what we're doing is a little bit messy. We're going to make some bubble hash. And I'm sure you all have heard of it. It's called bubble hash because of the way that it's made, and that's the name that he gave the bags. Anyhow, there are a series of bags with real sturdy fabric on the outside, and the bottom there's a micron screen. And they go, the gauge of the micron screen goes from very coarse to very, very fine. And what you do is you put the bags into the buckets, to the smallest size first, and smooth them out as well as possible so that they're all fitting in with a snug fit. Now we have to fill in water up past the seam of the bucket. There's a large seam at the bottom of the bags where the fabric connects to the micron material. So you have to put your water, fill the water in up above that seam. If you don't, the plant matter will get stuck in among it and cause a problem. The bubble hash is very interesting. The principle on which it works is that you freeze the organic material, meaning the leaf and trim, that's been really finely ground up. And when you freeze it, the trichromes get real stiff and hard and brittle. And then you put it in this bucket with the ice, like I can show you in just a second here. But you put in the water first, and then you measure out the amount of pot that you use. You know, it can vary. You don't want to use so much that it's so crowded the trichromes are unable to move around and get bumped off. And then we take the old ice tray and we dump, most of this ice is going to go in this bucket. And so now we put in all of our ice, and then on top of that we added more water. So it's kind of like a big slurry. Remember, we're going to have the ice cubes beating around against the plant particles and knocking those trichromes off. But just use a regular drill, put the paint attachment on it, and then you're going to mix it up for like 15 minutes. But anyhow, you don't want to beat it too hard, because if you do, it breaks down the plant matter and you get too much plant material in your hash. You want to kind of just keep those cubes just beating around off of hitting on the trichromes and bouncing off and knocking those little trichromes off, because that's essentially what we're doing, is collecting the trichromes, knocking them off, and then they're going to be floating around in this ice water bath, and until we start pulling the screens, and then we'll pull them out. And they're different, varying sizes, depending upon the kind of pot it is. The indicas, trichromes, have those little fat heads that kind of look like little Martians, maybe. And the sativas are have much skinnier heads. Okay, now we have to let it sit for, 20 to 30 minutes. We're back. It's been 30 minutes. So we're going to start pulling the bags. And this first bag, remember I said, was the coarsest micron material. And so what's going to stay in here is just the plant material. You know, all the leaf and everything that you've extracted. You'll dump the plant material into something else, and immediately you want to wash out your bags, because you don't want anything to get into the seams or anything, so wash them out right away. And then you can come back and you'll pull out your second bag. The second bag isn't going to be too much of anything. So anyhow, when you get it to form into a ball like that, you just reach in and scrape out the little ball. And like I said, this second bag of hash is probably going to not be too much either. You know, it'll be mostly like hair or dirt or something. But go ahead and just take it out and set it aside. And then the third bag, This is your called 120 bag, and this is where you're going to first see your indica. The indica trichromes have those fat heads on them, and they'll get caught up right away. And this one is much better quality than the first bag that we pulled out. You can see, and it looks a little bit green now, but as it dries, it'll lose a lot of that green color. And you just keep bouncing it around, picking it up and twirling it, and what you're trying to do is get the hash to come together. I guess it's about the same size as the one before it. They're, can you see these little blobs here? Okay, one more down, and two more to go. These are the finest ones, and like I said, the slowest one. So I usually just gather them up at the top and kind of give them a good little shake. This looks like it's smaller, which probably makes sense. It's a bit smaller than the other two because it's, like I said, we're getting more into the sativas. In fact, do it a couple times. Tiny little sativa trichrome. See, there's hardly anything there at all. Yeah, so not much sativa in this bud, I'd say. And then, before you know it, you'll be able to smoke it. Kiss your plants, and I'll kiss mine. Bye. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.